Hello, my name is Ashley Zuzak, and I chose the Filmmaker's Choices discipline. For the pitch research project, I chose to do the Incredibles show prompt. The prompt goes as stated. Based on the original success of The Incredibles and the hype surrounding the sequel, Disney and Pixar have put a call out to any studio brimming with creativity. Hoping to fill a time slot on Disney XD, Pixar wants a studio to put together a TV series based on events surrounding the movie. What makes it unique? The show will be called Becoming Incredible and will be about a girl who gets displaced by her family and becomes friends with Violet. The girl who I refer to as Jane Doe has a very yin and yang relationship with Violet, the daughter, when it comes to their personalities. Violet is extremely shy and secluded, and Jane Doe is extroverted and outgoing. After being displaced by her biological family, Jane Doe finds the Incredible family and makes them her family. After Jane Doe finds out that they aren't a normal family and are actually all superheroes with superpowers, she tries her hardest to participate in their superhero activities. This proves to be a problem because the Incredible family wants to protect her, so they try their hardest to leave Jane Doe out of their activities, especially because Jane Doe doesn't have any superpowers. But Jane Doe does everything in her power to try to be included, even jeopardizing the Incredibles' anonymity and the safety. Why is it marketable? The contrast between Violet and Jane Doe will really make the show interesting. Violet and Jane Doe's personalities will contrast so much that their close friendship won't make sense on paper, but in reality, they will get along very well. Jane Doe will be an odd, funny, quirky, and naive individual. Her outgoing personality will make the audience laugh and maybe even relate. Their incredible parents will also have a major role in the show, because if teenagers and kids are going to be watching, then so are the parents, and I want there to be something for them. I want the incredible parents to deal with real-world problems that parents deal with, but not make the main audience, kids and teenagers, lose interest. There will also be a minor reoccurring older character that will help with personality contrast and will help to add another layer of comedy. This character will pull in viewers of an older generation and entertain them. The driving force of what makes the show so marketable is having the show based around a young teenage girl being displaced by her biological family and really trying to find a place in the Incredible family. I believe that this will really connect with people of all ages, but specifically the young teenage audience on an emotional level. Production time: approximately 9.5 to 10 months. Story and development: approximately 2.5 months. About 25% of the total production time will be dedicated to the story and development. Pre-production: approximately 2.5 months. Pre-production will take up another 25% of the total production time, and combined with the story and development stage, they will take up 50% of the total production time. Production: approximately 4.5 months. Almost 50% of the total production time will be dedicated to the animating processes because the animation will be 3D and will use the same character models and animation type and style of the original movie. Post-production: approximately 3 to 4 weeks. Post-production is the easiest and fastest part of this production process, taking up at most 5% of the production time. Most of the production is adding music and sound effects and finalizing the edit for distribution. Biggest expenses. The biggest expense out of the whole production will be paying the original voice actors to do the voicing for their characters in the TV show. Another big expense that might even parallel for the biggest expense will be paying for the animation and everything that goes along with that. Other big expenses that need to be accounted for are writers, mixers, and editors. Having seasoned writers are extremely important because if you don't have a good story, you don't have a good TV show. Mixers are also very important because a lot of being pulled into a TV show or movie is the audio, so I want to make sure competent people are hired. Editors are also extremely important because when the editing is bad, it can be extremely distracting. Choreography. When it comes to choreography, there really isn't any need for it, except maybe voice coaching for any actors that aren't the original actors. Producer. I would like John Walker to produce the TV series. John Walker is the producer of the original Incredibles movie and is currently producing the sequel. Directors. I would like to have Brad Bird direct the TV series because he is the director of the original and the sequel of The Incredibles. I would also like Pete Docter to work very closely with Brad Bird because even though I want to keep the style of the movies, I would also like the TV series to have its own flair. Staffing. Staffing for a 3D animation TV series is quite extensive, but some of the basic categories are director, producer, writers, storyboarders, editors, musicians, sound foleys, art directors, animators, visual effects artists, marketing, production design, casting, management, coordinating, lighting, and publicity. Music and composer. The composer I would choose would be Michael Giacchino. I feel like since music is such a big part of TV and movies, and because I want to have the TV series run very closely to the original movie, that having the original composer also compose music for the TV series would be key. Because the original movie was set in the 1950s, and I would like the TV series to be set in the 1950s to the 1960s, I would like to incorporate music from those decades into the TV show. Type of animation. I want to use computer-generated 3D animation. I want to use the same exact 3D character models that were used in the original movie. Production facility. I would like all stages of production to take place at Disney Pixar. Software. For script writing, I'd use Celtix. For storyboarding, I'd use Toon Boom Storyboard Pro. When it comes to the graphics, I'd like to use some of Disney Pixar's in-house softwares. For 3D modeling, I'd like to use Maya. For animation, I'd use Marionette. And for rendering, I'd like to use Renderman. For audio editing, I'd like to use Pro Tools by Avid.